Part 21. Democritus of Thrace. Look at the top right corner of the Greek map. This magical region, spanning today's northeastern Greece, southern Bulgaria, and even wedging into western Turkey, is the renowned region of Thrace. The geographical location of this place is simply like a cocktail meticulously blended by the heavens. To the east is the passionate and unrestrained Black Sea. To the south is the romantic and free Aegean Sea. To the north is the majestic and steady Balkan Mountains, and to the west is the site of what was once Yugoslavia, now carved up into pieces. This complex environment, a blend of ocean king and mountain overlord, directly shaped the character of the Thracian people into a have-it-all hybrid. They possessed both the reckless spirit of the sea, unrestrained, passionate, and the heavy sense of responsibility from the high mountains, resilient, enduring. The result? The people born here are either tech geeks dedicated to silent contemplation and the mysteries of nature, or hardcore warriors who dare to charge into battle, roaring on the iron and blood battlefield. Such land and water are destined to produce legends, and their names must be carved into the riverbed of history. Otherwise, they wouldn't live up to this complex geographical background. Around 460 BCE, a baby boy named Democritus was born in Abdera, Thrace. The little boy, at the time of his birth, probably never dreamt that his travel bug alone would earn him the encyclopedic knowledge of an era. Even more unexpectedly, his strange ideas, the atomic theory, formed after seeing the world, would profoundly influence the technology tree of human civilization. It's fair to say that the birth of Democritus was history secretly installing a turbocharger for human civilization. It's interesting to note that just over 300 years after the birth of this master of natural philosophy, in 111 BCE, Thrace contributed another heavyweight figure, Spartacus. This warrior, once a slave and later a gladiator, with a single roar, carved a bloody path through the battle lines and rattled the nerves of the powerful Roman Empire, giving it a severe case of Spartacus syndrome. It's clear that the land of Thrace genuinely doesn't care whether you use your brain or your fist. As long as you make a big stir, it will support you. While Democritus was busy being born, the grand historical drama in the distance had just ended. The Persian Empire in the east was starting its decline, entering its sunset phase. The long, drawn-out tug-of-war between Persia and Greece, the Greco-Persian Wars, had finally reached a ceasefire. What legacy did this war leave behind? Besides the redistribution of land and control, the most famous result is the Marathon Run. The first marathon run took place in 490 BCE, and the race had only one participant, a messenger soldier burdened with an urgent telegram mission. This fellow, determined to report the victory of the Greek army in the Battle of Marathon to the people in Athens, ran approximately 42 kilometers in one go. Legend has it that immediately after shouting the news of the victory, he collapsed from exhaustion and died. When Democritus was born, all of this was yesterday's news. The blood and fire of the battlefield had long vanished. The extraordinary feat of the life-risking delivery guy had probably become mere gossip over tea. In this peaceful environment, it was time for those who never cease contemplating the mysteries of nature to take the stage. And this time, the historical spotlight landed squarely on the newborn Democritus. Democritus, this genius, was practically in existence with cheat codes. He not only understood almost every branch of knowledge of his time, but also possessed unparalleled memory and imagination. His staggering knowledge reserve allowed him to quickly absorb the achievements of his predecessors, and his extraordinary imagination enabled him to break the mold and establish his own unique theory of nature. Through him, we can truly understand what it means to be wise. It means having a massive brain capacity, high RAM, and superior system processing power. Democritus was lucky, born into a relatively wealthy family with two older brothers. His good education instilled in him an intense curiosity about the natural world and a thirst for knowledge. He was a veritable knowledge maniac. In his youth, besides the standard music, painting, and literature classes, he also went to study astrology with the stargazers. The incredible things in the heavens and on earth often kept this future master captivated and caused him to enter a state of frenzied knowledge absorption, neglecting food and sleep. But fate always enjoys a good jest. In his youth, his parents passed away, leaving the three brothers behind. Democritus's legendary life began then. The three brothers divided the family inheritance. Democritus, without a word, converted his share into cash. Then, patting his chest, he confidently declared, "The world is so big, I must go see it." He traveled extensively through Egypt, Babylon, India, Persia, and other places. These were the essential academic pilgrimage spots of the time. Thanks to the fact that he didn't encounter any highwaymen along the way, later human civilization was spared the loss of this extraordinary genius. Regrettably, he was blocked from completing his pilgrimage by the towering Himalayas. Otherwise, if this atomic theory boss had managed to travel from India into China, which was during the time of Mozi, who knows what sort of cyberpunk direction history might have taken. Democritus wandered abroad for more than 10 years. To study the movement and physiological structure of animals, he even performed dissections. The naive young man who left Thrace had, in the blink of an eye, become a middle-aged man of profound scholarship. He looked around and realized he had been wandering for over a decade. He felt it was time to go home and turn in his homework. This erudite scholar who walked back into the world mastered a list of fields so long it would make anyone despair. Philosophy, mathematics, physics, astronomy, zoology, medicine, psychology, ethics, rhetoric, art, painting, and literature. Another Greek scholar even exaggeratedly praised him. In terms of knowledge, he surpassed all ancient and contemporary philosophers. But Democritus himself was still dissatisfied. It wasn't until he reviewed the finite length of a human life that he finally let go of his knowledge anxiety. He consoled himself with the classic adage, "Do not attempt to know everything, lest you end up knowing nothing." Perhaps because Democritus had been out of sight for so long, everyone had forgotten him. Upon returning, he first went to Athens. It was the center of civilization after all, and he had to show his face. However, after a brief stay in Athens, he was likely disappointed. The Athenians were deeply immersed in the joy of free democratic debate, with everyone busy arguing and giving speeches. Pericles, the ruler at the time, even gave a passionate speech praising Athenian democracy and freedom. The people of Athens had no idea that they were facing a genius of knowledge, a master about to unveil the true nature of matter. Democritus was completely ignored. Feeling extremely depressed and hurt, like a returnee who had been abandoned by his own time, he dispiritedly went back to his hometown, Abdera, Thrace.